Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singapour.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PM orders police investigation. Dispute to doom party, says Rambuka. And Wolbachia mosquitoes released in Suva.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has ordered police to conduct an investigation into a levy collected from our former Fijian peacekeepers. Speaking to FBC News, Bainimarama says there are lies being spread that our peacekeepers will end up receiving a large sum of money through a $12 levy. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Allegations of Prime Minister giving a directive to collect levies from our former peacekeepers is not true.
No, there's been lies spread about the former soldiers receiving funds because of their tours in the Middle East. That's not true.
Bainimarama says the $12 levy is for their membership and not a fee for them to receive a large sum of money.
I don't have any right to give an endorsement for any fund. At any rate, the High Court has thrown that case out. And in fact, they're still waiting for peacekeepers to go and pay their $1,500 for taking the case to court.
The Prime Minister says talks have already taken place with former peacekeepers and an investigation will be conducted by police to find out the culprits who are spreading lies and collecting the levy.
I've asked the police commissioner to conduct an investigation into this because it might lead to fraud. And I don't like soldiers to be taken for a ride. It's unfair for them to be lied to.
Bainimarama says former peacekeepers need to know the truth and the police will ensure that people spreading the wrong information are taken to task. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The ongoing dispute between the senior members of the Social Democratic Liberal Party is set to doom the party and it will not achieve what they want to do in the general elections. Party leader Sitiveni Rambuka has challenged his members by asking the question how they can do something for Fiji if the party is falling to pieces. Speaking to FBC News, Rambuka says they will have to unite if they are to stand a chance of putting up a good fight in the upcoming general election. Ali Kimbia reports.
We cannot do anything for Fiji if the party is falling to pieces.
Worried about the split within the party and with a lot of questions raised about his leadership, Sitiveni Rambuka says he will not dictate to anyone to support him as there is freedom of expression within the party.
I have never led an organization that's totally supportive of my leadership. But if I dictated that everybody support me, then we are under dictatorship.
Recent media reports have highlighted the conflicts within SODELPA. However, Rambuka feels the differences of opinion by members makes them stronger.
We are a very democratic party. We encourage people to come and show their support for the party. And also, if they have any doubts about my leadership, to vote for who they think is better.
SODELPA MP Semesa Karavaki says any disorder between members need to be solved according to the party constitution.
If there is anything that happens that way, we will look at the rules and the laws that we put into place to govern the internal affairs of the party.
Meanwhile, SODELPA is yet to announce their 6 remaining proposed candidates for the election. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The first batch of mosquitoes carrying Wolbachia bacteria were released in Tamavua village, Suva today. This is in line with the Health Ministry's aim to reduce mosquito-borne diseases, which has claimed many lives over the years. Catherine Krishna has more.
3,437 cases of dengue fever were recorded in the first 5 months of this year, and officials are hopeful these Wolbachia carrying mosquitoes will help reduce numbers drastically.
So today, like I said, marks a landmark event for Fiji and Fijians as we commence the use of a safe and innovative, unconventional but an additional tool to fight mosquito-borne diseases. And these are the Wolbachia-carrying mosquitoes.
Australian Deputy High Commissioner Amy Crego says the Australian government will continue partnering with Fiji on initiatives which will benefit everyone.
In preparation for today, thousands of mosquito eggs were taken to Australia where they were hatched and mated with Australian Wolbachia-carrying mosquitoes, and then those eggs have been brought back here in a controlled environment and then hatched for today's release.
To decrease the number of dengue, chikungunya and Zika cases, Wolbachia mosquitoes will be released within Lami to Nosori corridor in the coming weeks. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Fiji Sugar Corporation is optimistic about crushing its target of 1.7 million tonnes of sugar this season. And with the Rarawai mill officially opening tomorrow and the Lautoka mill performing well, this will help the FSC to achieve its target. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Officially marking the start.
FSC CEO Graham Clark has commended the work put in by the staff at the Lautoka mill to bring it back to its peak.
So what that did is it's increased the average crush rate over the previous week in Lautoka to 4,000 tonnes of cane per day, which is in line with the to-date expectation.
Meanwhile, Lautoka cane farmers continue to ensure they harvest on time and get their cane to the mill.
The production is good this year, and we have noted that more cane is coming out of the farms.
Last week we only sent 2 trucks to the mill because of the issues it faced. We usually would send 6 trucks in a week, but now that the mill is performing better, we will send our normal 6 trucks per week.
The Lautoka mill is expected to crush 500,000 tonnes of cane this season.
I mean, the natural expectation would be that we would perform better than last year. So I'm pleased to see us crushing more, 15% more to date than last year.
Despite teething issues faced by the Lautoka mill during the opening of the crushing season, the Lautoka mill has performed well, crushing an all-time high this season of more than 5,000 tonnes of cane within 24 hours. This has also brought in good news for farmers in Lautoka, as they are also on track of reaching the targeted cane harvested for this year. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Still to come, government ponders passenger rail transit and port measures to stop illegal fishing. Stay with us.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Wana tunga ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir namuan.
Nevang go fani na tao no go singa toka, kita untuk talita kana Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasir.
The goat industry has been in existence for a long time. However, it hasn't been taken seriously nor taken to a commercial level. Agriculture Minister Eniese Ruratu says the huge $1.2 million injection into the proposed meat industry will benefit livestock farmers. Akasita Tale has more.
Steps are now being taken to commercialize the goat industry.
Most of the goats that are raised are just sold on streets or farm gate. It's not coming into the formal market. Formal market, I mean into the restaurants, into the supermarkets.
The Prasads of Sawani Naitasiri have a 2-acre land and are raising 76 goats. They believe the newly announced initiative will benefit them.
We started with only 6 goats in 2009, but now we have more than 70. So the government's announcement will definitely bring in more profit and revenue for my family to extend this business.
$200,000 has been allocated in the 2018-2019 national budget for goat extension development to supply quality breeding stock to cluster groups and commercial goat farms. A further $1 million has been allocated to establish Fiji's goat meat industry through the provision of services and infrastructural development aimed to improve a supply of quality and affordable meat to the market. The government has assured it will support local farmers prepare grazing land, fencing and water sources for the livestock to step up goat farming and meat production. Aku Sitatale, FBC News.
Along with upgrades to the sugar railway network, the government is considering the possibility of establishing public rail transport to ease traffic congestion, particularly for the Suva-Nausori corridor. With the completion of a pre-feasibility study undertaken by the Indian government, the Prime Minister's office is looking into the next step for what could be Fiji's first public passenger railway system. Maggie Boyle reports.
It all started with the need to upgrade the Fiji Sugar Corporation railway system, which has been neglected for decades.
Is not really an in-depth study, but this really gives a framework of what is required by the Fiji Sugar Corporation and approximately the costs.
And while the railway was meant to be responsible for 70% of the sugarcane transportation, there are now discussions to think beyond the sugar sector's needs.
It could run more than $30 million or $40 million, depending on the kind of rail we want. As you know, we're also talking about passenger rails, and including cargo, the introduction of dry ports and all that.
The Indian government, with its own ministry dedicated to railways, is working with Fiji to establish an expanded network.
Sugarcane transportation, upgradation of that, then thinking of tourism railway, tourism facilities also on the same sector, as well as using it as a freight corridor, and some possibility of having another transport line for Nausori Suva.
For now, the initial study will guide government's next step and the all-important funding required for this monumental infrastructural development. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Having port state measures in place will ensure substantial revenue is not lost and the livelihood of Fijians in coastal waters will remain unaffected. The Fisheries Ministry says these measures will also see that there is sustainable management of fish stocks and reaffirms the priorities reflected in Fiji's ocean pathway. Kelly Vadala reports.
The PSM guarantees control over eliminating the negative environmental, economic and social consequences of illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing.
If we actually are telling the world that we have a stringent measure, we would be contributing to addressing IUU by pushing these vessels out, and they would not come to Fiji.
Fisheries Enforcement Officer Hilda Lobindan says the port state's measure helps Fiji and the region exclude illegal fishing vessels from visiting vulnerable nations with small administrations.
The issue that we're finding at the moment is unreported. There are most vessels that are coming in that are underreporting on their catch loads. You know, unfaithfully or untruthfully recorded his catch, we issue a fixed penalty notice. So they are fined.
Up to 500 fishing vessels enter our ports every year, and having the port state measures in place will ensure there is no illegal, unreported or unregulated fishing. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
5 current Fiji First parliamentarians have confirmed to FBC News that they have applied to recontest the general election under the party banner. FBC News spoke to some of the MPs who have already set out their plans. Kritika Kumar reports.
Fiji First Party has begun interviewing the new applicants who have shown interest in contesting the general election under the party banner, while the current MPs who have reapplied will be interviewed in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I've already applied for a ticket and awaiting the interview that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to be in the party again for the upcoming general elections.
I believe in the principles of Fiji First, so I applied, but let's see. It's upon the leadership if they do require me.
I have applied for my party's ticket for the next elections. And I'd love to continue with the party and build on the work that has been done.
Those who are holding ministerial positions in the government currently say they are happy with the progress made so far.
I think we've done a phenomenal job, really taking Fiji to a new direction. And I think most people in Fiji are wise and smart enough to know what's happening.
They're carrying out interviews. But if I've elected, I've been appointed, I will stand.
The current parliamentarians are saying that Fiji First now has a better knowledge of how things work and has delivered satisfactorily after being elected in 2014. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
In sports later with Jamie, Skipper Cup winner Suva seek HFC Fairbrother Cup, but up next is Kelly with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Tourism up 4.7% for March. And in growing Fiji, new adventures planned for Killer Park. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Jenny Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, Fiji's earnings for tourism stood at $358.2 million for March quarter. That's an increase of 4.7% compared to the same period last year. However, the March quarter earnings were over 30% lower than the amount recorded in the December quarter. Earnings from Australia in the March quarter stood at over $164 million, New Zealand at over $55.4 million, while the USA was third with earnings standing at $35.2 million. We now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
Let's review the trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange for last week. 96,878 shares exchanged hands in 23 transactions, for a total consideration amounting to $145,789. 4 listed stocks recorded market activity, noting various share price movements. Kontiki Finance shares increased by 1 cent, ending the week at $1.24. RB Patel shares recorded 3 cents growth to $4.88, while BSP convertible notes rose to $8.98, another 3 cents rise. With the various price movements, the overall market capitalization rose by 0.08% and ended the week at a value of $2.48 billion. And that's all the latest from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Taking a look at the currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar, the China-US trade war continues, and recent comments by President Trump about the European Union continue to affect the foreign exchange market. The Fijian dollar strengthened against the yen, the US dollar, the kiwi, and the kina. On the commodities market, oil was on the rise at over $70 a barrel. Gold dropped over $4 to just under 1,243 per ounce. Silver closed down at $15.82 per ounce. In growing Fiji, adventure lovers can expect more attractions at the Killer Eco Adventure Park located along the Namosi Road off the Queen's Road. The park, which is a major tourist attraction, currently provides 28 amazing activities such as the Commando Course, Killer Giant Swing and Thriller Zipline. Pranita Prakash reports.
More additions will be done to the already famous Killer Eco Adventure Park.
We decided to build 2 new attractions down there, and so we're discussing with the engineers and the builders now what costs might be and how we can do those on the available space down there.
The site belonging to Please Global, also described as the Wild and Fun Park, currently employs 12 people as instructors.
Killer Eco Adventure Park and Killer Organic Spice Farm are loss-making or marginal profit-making. They basically cover their cost, and that was always the intention. We didn't ever expect to make a lot of money, but we wanted to do something with the land so that at least we're creating jobs for the people in the village.
Please Global is also constructing a rugby and soccer field in Namosi, which will cost more than $50,000. The project is nearing completion. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thanks, Kelly, and good evening in sports tonight. And Beba explains South's exclusion from World Cup Sevens team. Details after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
It was a Football World Cup final that had everything. A known goal, penalty, classic strikes and a goalkeeper error as France claimed its second title after 20 years. After beating deserving finalist Croatia 4-2, French coach Didier Deschamps became only the third person ever to win the FIFA World Cup as a player and then this morning as coach. The Lautoka football side hopes to carry its Vodafone Premier League momentum through to the Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants this weekend. The side remains unbeaten in the VPL with 21 points and looks forward to winning its first major title this season. Coach Kamal Swami gave his players the day off today and will begin preparing for the tournament from tomorrow.
For sure, Sunday is gone, Monday is a recovery, and then Tuesday, Wednesday is the training. Thursday you have to put down the training and then come back on Friday to play. It's a lot of work for the players. And I think for Lautoka it will be very tough because they have played a lot of games, more than what the other districts have played. So it will be a tough battle for us.
Since Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber announced his team for the World Cup this weekend, many have questioned the exclusion of World Rugby Sevens Rookie of the Year, Eroni Sau. Baber has since explained his decision, citing a drop in certain key areas of Sau's game since peaking in the last tournament of the series. Vastal Prasad with the details.
The exclusion of Eroni Sau from the final team may have come as a shock to his fans. Today, coach Gareth Baber gave the reasons behind his decision.
I didn't feel that, I've spoken to Eroni as well, that he played his best rugby in London and Paris. I think he's had a great season, but as is always the case with players and form, I didn't feel that he was where he had been in previous tournaments. I looked at it when we came back into camp as well.
Baber, while explaining his choices, says he had to weigh a lot of factors before naming the players.
Eroni and you've got Josh Tuisova, you've got very similar players in some respects, and I've been amazed at how complete a player Joshua Tuisova actually is, just working with him in his skills, his understanding of the game.
He adds the players selected are capable of playing as utilities. Winger Alessio Nanduva, who is the only specialized winger, has also been impressive at different positions.
He was trained as a halfback. He is trained on the wing as well. So, you know, I'm always looking for ways that I can cover that. I also looked at YC doing a similar job as well.
The icing of the sledgehammer doesn't mean Fiji's chances of winning the World Cup title are slim. We still have the firepower of the semi-trailer, the beast Kunatani, the octopus Leone Nakarawa, and the magician Jerry Tuai. Fiji will surely put up a strong feat in the tournament. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Suva Rugby created history over the weekend, winning its first Skipper Cup. Now with that in the bag, the capital side has its eyes on the HFC Fairbrother Trophy. John Tambore reports.
It will be another big match this week for the new Skipper Cup champion Suva when they take on Namosi for the first challenge of the HFC Fairbrother Trophy.
Game next week will be a challenge game for Suva. We'll be going down to play Namosi in Navua. So it will be we know that Namosi won't give easily to that game. So we are trying to build up our team from this win.
Suva was forced to come from behind to win the Skipper Cup, and Captain Penny Rendre say they cannot repeat that mistake against Namosi.
Monday it's back to the drawing board. We cannot play catch-up rugby in this kind of big matches. We just focus on our training again and make sure that everybody recovers well before Saturday's game.
The Fairbrother Challenge will be launched officially on Wednesday, and organizers anticipate another exciting challenge.
It will be a huge challenge again. I thank the staff and all the sponsors. Now we move on, we hope to have a launch on Wednesday, and then we move on to the challenge at Thompson Park. It will be a huge game again, and we're just looking forward.
Suva holds the bragging rights against Namosi as they have not lost to the Fairbrother champions this year. Now, should Suva pull off another win in the Fairbrother Cup Challenge this Saturday, it'll be another historic win for the capital side. John Zabore, FBC Sports.
Unruly behavior will not be tolerated at this year's Powerade Super Deans competition. The Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby Union issuing an advance warning to teams and their fans after a few disciplinary issues were noted during the zones competition. Stella Taoi reports.
The message is simple: break the rules and get banned from the games.
We have not taken any issues concerning discipline lightly. For example, we have stopped schools from hosting games. We have even banned students from participating in our competition. There have been incidences where students tried to handle our officials. There are bans in place.
The Fiji Secondary School Rugby Union says they have made themselves clear and the rules apply to everyone.
Coming to the quarterfinals, there are going to be lots of security around. I'm advising schools not to try out any of those to support us. There are going to be lots of securities, not just in uniform. There are going to be lots of securities without uniform.
The 8 teams that have qualified for the national quarters include defending champions Ratu Kandavulevu School, Queen Victoria School, St. John the Wadi, Maris Brothers High School, John Wesley College, Nasinu Secondary School, Ratu Navula College, and Duvu Secondary. Stella Taoi, FBC Sports.
Novak Djokovic earned his first Grand Slam title in more than 2 years by beating Kevin Anderson to win his 4th Wimbledon championship. Djokovic seeded 12th, won by 3 sets to claim his 13th slam and his first major since the 2016 French Open. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, check out the entrepreneur in Kenya that's making leather products from fish skin. That's coming up.
Narang gole senia, Obama kita kena kas, dorong bina kape, ona radio Fijuan, nandong wibit.
Ayaw benyana, dito barong na radio Fijuan, nandong wibisi, hinatoka.
Guado ilaisa hingatoka, rong bina na heramakawa ina radio Fijuan hingatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandong wibiti.
In new media tonight, no one likes to make compromises, but with gaming laptops, it's inevitable. Let's take a look at the relaunched product line from Dell. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope you had a great weekend. After all predictions of rain, the sun decided to be out and be the champ of the week, and all those conditions from last week is still continuing, and this is some amazing sunny spells. Moving on to the western side, it was another great spell of sunshine. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, more of the great sunshine covered as well. Humidity level was a bit up. And up north, very warm, clear blue skies were compact throughout the day. At sea, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 9:32 p.m. with low tide at 3:33 a.m. Sunrise at 6:38. For tomorrow, we might get early morning showers, but that will clear as we get to the break of the day. Tomorrow's temps, most centers will be hot with temperatures hitting the upper 30-degree range. And looking further on to Wednesday, more great sunshine coming our way, so you can think of 100 or more ways to spend your sunny days. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Lovely news from you. Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, what do you think of Eroni Sa's exclusion from the Fiji Sevens World Cup team?
I think it's the final decision is from the coach, so we have to respect the coach's decision.
I believe they have a fair idea on who's going to, come in and fill in the gap for Eroni Sawe. And I believe is Simran Ranran Tusaba is there. They can fill in the gap and carry out duties of what Sledgehammer always done throughout the season.
It's up to the coach to decide whether to pick Eronisau or other players.
Eronisau is a good player, but it all depends on the coach. His best 12 will be chosen.
I think Eronisau was not included because we had other good players.
I now have a lot of doubt as Eronisau has been dropped from the team, because when you watch the 7 series, we all know that he was instrumental in all Fiji's games.
I think the Fiji team will be missing the strength and impact that he is known for. His style of play is different and is exciting, but now that he is being dropped, the Fiji team will miss out on that.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, PM orders police investigation. Dispute to Doom Party, says Rambuka. And Wolbachia mosquitoes released in Suva. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM to our poll question segment. Now this week we're unable to bring you the results of last week's question due to a technical error, but we do apologize for this. So we're moving straight into a new week and a new question. We're asking, do you think the Fiji Sevens team can win the World Cup in San Francisco? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Zoeb Zamal, the perfect picnic spot captured at Nathandola Beach. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से। जैसे फ्रेंडी नोट मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फिजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फिजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।